7 of your defeats so far have been by just a single goal.
Cheers!
But does that highlight the fine margins so far and the potential to convert some of these games into points that are coming up?
I believe so, Rob. The league table doesn't look great for anybody connected to this football club. It's difficult in this world of coverage that we have on the Premier League to get away from it. I think 409 has not been my favourite channel over the last 2 months. So Gravesy will understand that. But you can't get away from it. But it's about turning those small losses into draws, and then sort of couple of draws that we've had into wins, or losing positions into wins now. Because I think we could have quite easily done that. But it's not about, we can take a degree of confidence and belief from those stats and the stats that we have, in-house stats, physical stats, tactical stats that we've got, and just the human eye that I'm seeing when I'm watching us against West Brom, and I'm watching us against West Ham, and I'm watching us against Leeds and Villa and Man City and Liverpool, to say there's not a lot in that game that, on another day we could have got something from it, but we have to accept that we haven't, and try to affect what's in front of us. And that's got to be our biggest challenge, Rob.
And how determined are your players to prove that they can provide the goals that you need, that they can start taking these chances?
Mate, they're so determined. They're so determined. They're such a tight group. They're so determined to do well. Is that affecting us? That they're so determined to do well. I remember. I think that there was we played AFC Wimbledon in our League One campaign, and there was a tweet that had come out that got passed to me saying something like, at last the team that leaves everything out on the pitch, and that sort of hit home to me what hadn't happened at this football club for quite a long time. That that the group had to be honest and had to leave everything out there. And if we fall short with a lack of ability, a concentration lapse, or a bit of quality from the opposition, then sometimes you have to hold your hand up. If teams above us say yes, they're quite difficult to stop. If Chelsea are in form and we're in form, without being negative, that should really, with everything that goes with Chelsea and the history and where they're at as a moment as a football club, and where we're at as a football club, that really should result in a Chelsea win. Not always, but it should result in a Chelsea win. So, week in, week out, we're up against that quality. But we have to give ourselves an opportunity by our attitude. And our attitude's been spot on. Been absolutely spot on. At times the play hasn't, the finishing hasn't, a couple of bits tactically haven't, technically haven't. A bounce of a ball, which I believe hasn't gone our way. But the thing that that I won't accept is maybe people talking about players not leaving it out there. It's not what I believe we're about, and I think you'll understand if I did see that, if I did see people that didn't fancy it, got the white flag up, weren't hiding, then I think that I'd flag that up. I'd flag that up and deal with that accordingly. But they're hurting and they're determined. They're so determined, Rob. But they've got to take that determination and balance it out as well with composure. So that's the balance that I'm looking for between the determination, the aggression, the competitiveness, and the composure and the time to play and pick the right pass, pick the right cross, pick the right finish, make the right decision that ultimately gives you the opportunity of getting results.